you ever wondered why some men start with almost nothing and still manage to build billion-dollar empires, while others work hard their whole life and never really move forward? What is the real difference between a billionaire and an average man? Is it luck, is it education, or is it something deeper that most people never notice? Think about it for a moment. Two men can grow up in the same kind of city. They can face the same problems. They can even have the same chances in life. But still, their results are completely different. One man becomes rich, powerful, and free. The other man stays stuck in bills, stress, and daily survival. Why does this happen? The truth is simple but powerful. Billionaires do not think like most people. Their mind works in a very different way. It is not just about working harder. Many people work hard every single day. It is not just about having a good idea. Many people have ideas but never grow them. The real difference is in how they think, how they decide, and how they see the world. A billionaire does not wake up and think like an employee. He does not think only about today's salary or this month's rent. He thinks in systems, in scale, and in long-term results. While most people think about surviving the month, rich men think about building something that can survive for decades or even generations. Now here is something very important to understand. Billionaires are not chasing money the way most people do. They are not waking up every day thinking, how can I earn a little more today? Instead, they think, how can I build something that keeps making money even when I am not working? This small change in thinking is where everything begins. Most people sell their time for money. They work 1 hour and get paid for 1 hour. But billionaires try to break this link. They want to build systems, businesses, and investments that grow without their direct time. This is why their money works for them, even when they are sleeping. Another big difference is how they see problems. Most people run away from problems. They get stressed when something goes wrong. They feel pressure when life becomes hard. But billionaires see problems as opportunities. They do not get scared when things go wrong. They ask different questions. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me, they ask, what can I learn from this, or, how can I turn this into profit? This mindset changes everything. Because in the real world, money always follows problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you can make. Let's go deeper. Billionaires also think very differently about time. Most people think time is something to spend. They waste hours on things that do not matter. Social media, distractions, and small pleasures take most of their attention. But rich men treat time like something extremely valuable. For them, every hour has a cost. Every decision has weight. They constantly think about whether something is worth their time or not. They ask simple but powerful questions like, is this helping me grow, or is this taking me closer to my goal? Because they understand something most people ignore. Time is more valuable than money. You can lose money and get it back. But you cannot get lost time back. Now listen carefully, because this is where it becomes even more interesting. Billionaires also think in terms of leverage. This means they look for ways to get more results with less effort. While most people focus on doing everything by themselves, rich men focus on building systems, teams, and tools that multiply their effort. For example, one man working alone can only do a limited amount of work. But a man with a business, employees, technology, and automation can multiply his results many times over. This is how small ideas turn into huge companies. It is not about working more hours. It is about making every hour more powerful. There is also a strong mental difference in how they handle fear. Most people stop when they feel fear. They think about what can go wrong. They imagine failure, loss, or embarrassment. But billionaires think differently. They feel fear too, but they do not let it control their decisions. They understand that fear is part of growth. Every big success comes with risk. Every major opportunity comes with uncertainty. Instead of avoiding fear, they learn how to move forward with it. This is why they are able to take big risks that most people never dare to take. Another key difference is patience. Most people want fast results. They want success in weeks or months. If something does not work quickly, they give up. But billionaires think in years and decades. They are willing to build slowly if it means building something strong. They understand that real wealth does not come overnight. It comes from consistent effort, smart decisions, and long-term vision. This patience gives them an advantage because while others quit early, they keep going. Now think about your own life for a moment. Most people are stuck in a cycle. Wake up, go to work, earn money, spend money, and repeat. This cycle feels normal, but it does not create freedom. Billionaires break this cycle by changing how they think. They do not just work in a job, they build assets. They do not just earn money, they create value. They do not just survive, they design systems that grow without limits. Here is the most powerful part of this entire video. If you understand how billionaires think, you can start changing your own thinking. You do not need to be born rich. You do not need special connections. But you do need a different mindset. You need to start thinking beyond just monthly survival. You need to start thinking about skills, systems, and long-term growth. Even small changes in your thinking can lead to big changes in your future. And before we move ahead in this video, here is something important. If you stay until the end, you will learn practical mindset shifts that billionaires use every day. These are simple ideas, but they can completely change how you see money, work, and success. Most people will never learn this. Not because it is hidden, but because they stop too early. If you stay with me till the end, you will understand how to slowly train your mind to think like the top 1%. And once that shift starts, your life will never feel the same again. So now the journey really begins. Because understanding this difference is the first step. But applying it is where real change happens. And what comes next will go even deeper into how these men think, decide, and build their empires from nothing. Now let's go deeper into something most people never truly understand. What actually makes billionaire thinking so different from normal thinking? Because on the surface, they look like regular men. They eat, sleep, work, and face problems like everyone else. But inside their mind, the entire system is different. It is like they are playing a different game with different rules. And if you do not understand these rules, you will always feel like success is out of reach. The first major difference is how billionaires think about money itself. Most people see money as something to spend. They earn it, and then they immediately think about what to buy. A phone, a car, clothes, or entertainment. But billionaires see money as a tool. For them, money is not the goal. Money is just fuel. It is something they use to build bigger things. They think, if I invest this money, will it grow? Will it bring more money back later? This one shift changes everything because it turns money into a working system instead of a temporary reward. Another major difference is how they think about opportunity. Most people wait for opportunities to come. They hope for a better job, a lucky break, or the right timing. But billionaires actively search for opportunities everywhere. They look at problems others ignore and see hidden value inside them. Where most people see difficulty, they see potential. For example, if a normal person sees a broken system or a struggling industry, they complain about it. But a billionaire thinks, this problem affects millions. If I solve it, I can build something massive. This mindset is why they often enter industries that seem boring or even failing, and then turn them into huge success stories. Now let's talk about decision making, because this is where things get even more powerful. Most people make emotional decisions. They choose based on fear, stress, or short-term comfort. If something feels risky, they avoid it. If something feels easy, they choose it. But billionaires try to remove emotion from decisions as much as possible. They focus on logic, data, and long-term impact. They ask questions like, what is the worst that can happen, and what is the best possible outcome if this works? This helps them stay calm in situations where most people panic. It also allows them to take calculated risks that can lead to massive rewards. They do not avoid risk. They manage it. Another important mindset difference is how they think about failure. Most people see failure as the end. If they fail once, they feel embarrassed or discouraged. They start doubting themselves. But billionaires see failure as feedback. For them, failure is not something to avoid. It is something to learn from. Every mistake gives them information. Every loss shows them what to improve. Instead of stopping after failure, they adjust and try again. This is one of the biggest reasons they succeed long-term. Because while most people quit after a few failures, they keep going until they get it right. Let's also talk about learning. Most people stop learning after school or college. They believe education is finished when they get a job. But billionaires are constant learners. They read, study, and observe successful people all the time. They understand that the world keeps changing, and if they stop learning, they fall behind. For them, learning is not a phase of life. It is a lifelong habit. They learn about business, psychology, investing, leadership, and human behavior. Because they know that the more they understand how people and systems work, the more powerful their decisions become. Now here is something very important about billionaire thinking. They always focus on leverage. Leverage means doing more with less. Instead of working harder, they think about how to multiply their results. There are different types of leverage. Money leverage, people leverage, and technology leverage. For example, instead of doing everything alone, they build teams. Instead of trading only time for money, they invest in systems that generate income. Instead of relying only on effort, they use technology to scale their work. This is why one billionaire can impact millions of people while most individuals can only impact a small circle around them. Another key difference is focus. Most people are distracted. They jump from one thing to another. They start many things but finish few. Billionaires, on the other hand, have strong focus. They pick a direction and stay with it for a long time. They do not chase every opportunity. They choose carefully and then go deep. This deep focus allows them to master industries and build strong foundations. While others are switching paths every few months, they are building something that grows stronger every year. We also need to understand how billionaires think about comfort. Most people want comfort. They want easy jobs, easy lives, and no stress. But billionaires often choose discomfort on purpose. They know that growth does not happen in comfort. Growth happens in challenge. So they push themselves into situations where they must improve. They take risks, face pressure, and deal with uncertainty. While most people avoid discomfort, they move toward it because they understand it is the path to growth. Another powerful difference is how they think about success itself. Most people define success as having money or luxury. But billionaires often define success as control, freedom, and impact. They want control over their time. They want freedom to make decisions. And they want impact that lasts beyond their lifetime. Money is just a result of these things, not the main goal. This is why even after becoming extremely rich, many billionaires continue working. It is not because they need more money. It is because they are building something bigger than money. Now think about how all of this connects together. Billionaires think differently about money, opportunity, failure, learning, risk, time, and comfort. Every area of their thinking is designed for growth and long-term success. This is not random. It is a trained mindset. It is developed over years of experience, mistakes, and learning. The good news is that this way of thinking is not something you are born with. It is something you can slowly build. But here is the truth most people do not want to hear. Changing how you think is not easy. It takes time. It takes awareness. And it takes discipline. Because your current habits are strong. The way you think right now is shaped by years of repetition. But if you start paying attention to your decisions, your reactions, and your habits, you can slowly shift your mindset in a new direction. And this is where everything starts to change. Because once you begin thinking differently, your actions also change. And when your actions change, your results change. It always starts in the mind first. Not in money. Not in luck. But in thinking. So now you are starting to see the real picture. Billionaires are not magical people. They are just men who train their minds to think in a different way. And in the next part of this video, we will go even deeper into the exact habits, routines, and daily behaviors. that shape this mindset in real life, so you can understand not just how they think, but how they actually live. Every single day. Now let's go even deeper into the daily habits and real-life behaviors that shape billionaire thinking. Because mindset alone is not enough. Thinking is powerful, but it becomes real only when it is repeated every day through actions. Billionaires are not just different in ideas. They are different in habits, routines, and how they use their time. And this is where most people fail to understand the real secret. It is not one big move that creates wealth. It is small actions repeated for years in a very disciplined way. Most people look for shortcuts. They want fast results. But billionaires focus on systems that run every single day, even when they are not motivated. One of the most important habits of billionaires is how they start their day. Most people wake up and immediately go into distraction. They check their phone, social media, or messages. Their mind gets filled with noise before the day even begins. But billionaires protect their morning time. They use it for thinking, planning, and learning. They do not rush into chaos. They start with clarity. This helps them control their focus instead of letting the world control it. Because they understand one simple truth. If you do not control your time, someone else will control it for you. Another powerful habit is reading and learning every single day. Most people stop learning after school. But billionaires treat learning like a weapon. They read books, reports, and ideas from other successful people. They study markets, human behavior, and business trends. They are always upgrading their thinking. Because they know the world changes fast, and old thinking creates old results. This constant learning gives them an edge. While others repeat the same year of life 10 times, they evolve every year into a stronger version of themselves. Let's talk about discipline. This is something that separates rich men from average men more than anything else. Billionaires do not depend on motivation. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Instead, they rely on discipline. They do what needs to be done, even when they do not feel like it. They understand that success is not about feelings. It is about actions. For example, if they plan to work on something important, they do it regardless of mood. If they set a goal, they stay consistent until it is done. This level of discipline is what builds long-term success. Now here is something very important. Billionaires are extremely careful with their environment. The people around you shape your thinking more than you realize. Most people stay around negative or lazy influences without noticing how it affects them. But billionaires choose their circle very carefully. They surround themselves with people who think big, act fast, and focus on growth. Because they understand that mindset spreads. If you are around people who complain, you start complaining. If you are around people who build, you start building. Your environment is either pushing you forward or pulling you back. Another key habit is focus on one direction at a time. Most people try many things at once. They jump from idea to idea. They get distracted by new trends or quick opportunities. But billionaires usually focus deeply on one major goal or industry for years. They do not spread themselves thin. They go deep instead of wide. This deep focus allows them to understand their field better than anyone else. It helps them see patterns that others miss. And it gives them an advantage that builds over time. Time management is also very different for billionaires. They treat time as their most valuable asset. They do not waste it on things that do not matter. Every hour has meaning. They often schedule their day carefully. They decide what is important and what is not. They remove unnecessary tasks from their life. They try to delegate or automate everything that does not require their personal attention. This allows them to focus only on high-value decisions. While most people stay busy with low-value tasks, billionaires stay focused on high-impact actions. Another habit is decision speed. Most people delay decisions. They overthink small things. They worry about making mistakes. But billionaires often make decisions faster. They understand that not deciding is also a decision, and it often leads to missed opportunities. Of course, they do not act without thinking. But once they have enough information, they move forward. This speed gives them advantage in business and life. Because in many cases, timing matters more than perfection. Let's talk about risk. Most people try to avoid risk completely. They want safe paths. They want guaranteed outcomes. But billionaires understand that no big success comes without risk. Instead of avoiding risk, they manage it. They reduce it where possible, but they do not eliminate it completely. They calculate outcomes and prepare for failure. They know that every big reward comes with uncertainty. So instead of fear, they use preparation. This is why they can take bold moves while others stay stuck in comfort. Another strong habit is long-term thinking. Most people think in days, weeks, or months.